Can you see me guys? Hi everyone. Okay, cool. Now I see you guys are joining. I wasn't sure if I was live yet or not. So welcome to another Wednesday of Cooking with me. And today we are going to be making pad thai and Thai iced tea. So Thailand, I was living in, I am from India and I've lived in India for many years, and Thailand was my favorite go-to vacation destination. It's easy to get to, you could even do like a weekend trip to Thailand if you're in India. So yeah, obviously with the quarantine, I'm sorely missing all of my Asian vacations, and I've made a lot of Asian food. So incidentally, the next 3 Wednesdays, including today's, are going to be Asian foods. So we're going to start with pad thai, which like I said, is one of my most favorite Thai street foods. It's actually a very famous, very popular street food in Thailand, and the version that you get in Thailand actually is quite fishy in taste. They often add a lot of dried shrimp, a lot of fish sauce, which I personally don't prefer much. So I've always had to get it custom made if I was having it in Thailand. But when I make it at home, I don't have to worry about it. So today I'm actually going to show you a vegan or almost vegan version of pad thai. And then we'll also make my favorite beverage, Thai iced tea, which is like absolutely addictive. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have the Thai rice noodles, or sometimes they're called noodle sticks. I'm just using store-bought, so this is the box, the brand I'm using. And this one is a 14-ounce box. I'm using about half of that for today's recipe, which should make 2 to 3 servings. I always find servings are so subjective because you never know how much a person is gonna eat, but talking about restaurant serving sizes, this should make about a little more than 2 servings. So I just put boiling water on it, and I'm going to cover it, and we're going to let this sit for 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to put my timer for 8 minutes for this, and while this is cooking, we're going to start mixing our sauce. So as you can see, I have slightly more mobility than last week, but my husband is around if I need help with anything. So for the sauce, again, like I said, this is an almost vegan version. I say almost because I'm using a little bit of oyster sauce because that I actually like and don't mind. But normally you would add lots of oyster sauce, lots of fish sauce. So I'm substituting fish sauce with light soya sauce. And there's obviously sugar, so I've taken some brown sugar. Like I said, I am using a little bit of oyster sauce. You can completely skip this if you don't like it, or if you want to make this vegan. I have 1 teaspoon of tamarind concentrate. So it's that little yellow bread jar that you get, which is used in Mexican cooking. Tamarind is really the heart of any pad thai. So, and it's almost a must. I mean, you'll find recipes that call for ketchup or lime juice or vinegar. You will get a decent pad thai with that too, but if you are shooting for authentic pad thai, it has to have tamarind in some form. You could also use tamarind puree. If you're using tamarind puree, you would need to use about 2 tablespoons because that's less concentrated, less acidic than tamarind concentrate. So I'm going to start mixing all of this here. The only additional ingredient that I'm adding is sriracha sauce because I like my pad thai to be a little spicy, and I feel a little spice really helps offset the acid and the sweetness coming from so much brown sugar. So I'm going to start mixing this. I have 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar, to which I'm adding 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce. about half a tablespoon of oyster sauce, which is optional. Like I said, you could also substitute this with ketchup. Because sometimes if you're using a tamarind concentrate, you don't have enough liquid or sauce to coat all of your noodles. So maybe add ketchup instead of the oyster sauce. I'm adding my tamarind concentrate. It's about a little more than a teaspoon. And then I'm adding a good tablespoon of sriracha sauce. If you were to make like the actual authentic version of this, instead of the light soy sauce, you can add fish sauce. So I'm going to give all of this a whisk, and I'm also going to start my flame here. Here in a pan, I have 2 tablespoons of just cooking oil. So I'm just using sunflower oil. You can use canola oil. Light sesame oil also tastes good if you have it available. The one I have is very dark, and pad thai doesn't really have that very strong Asian sesame taste, so I'm just using regular cooking oil. So I'm going to whisk all of these ingredients, and this should make a good half to 3/4 cups of your sauce mixture. So I'm going to set this aside. My oil is heating, and to that I'm going to go ahead and add this is a medium-sized sliced onion. So I've taken 1 onion and then 3 to 4 cloves of garlic crushed. You should ideally use yellow or white onion. I just had red onion handy, so I'm using red, but the authentic pad thai should have white or yellow onion, or you could even use shallots. Maybe I'll move to here so that you guys can see it better. I'm going to mix this and just cover it up for a couple of minutes. So if another typical ingredient that's added in pad thai is eggs, but since I wanted to show an almost vegan pad thai today, I'm skipping that. But if you like eggs, like a scrambled egg in your pad thai, which is very typical an ingredient in pad thai, this is the point you'll add it. So just once the onions are cooked a little bit, put them on the side and just crack an egg or two right onto the pan, scramble it, and go from there. If you want to add any meat, which shrimp obviously is the most common one to add, that also goes in at that point. So you scramble the egg, put it on the side again, create some space on the pan, add a few shrimps, cook them, and as you know, cooking shrimp only takes a few minutes, so you do that, and then follow the rest of the process is the same for any kind. You can also make chicken pad thai. Just make sure you're using thin sliced chicken breast if you're doing that, because you don't have a lot of time to cook the meat. If you have big chunks of chicken, cook them separately and then add them to your pad thai. So we're not going to cook the onions too much. We want them to be a little crunchy. So that's it. You don't have to brown them or cook them a lot at all. Once you have that, the next thing that goes in is, okay, my noodles have only a minute and a half remaining. I'm just going to give them a quick check. They're almost cooked. Can you help me drain the noodles? Okay. So We have the bean sprouts. I've taken about 2 cups of bean sprouts. I am going to add almost all of them. Just save a little bit for garnishing later. So I've added most of them, just saved a little bit for garnishing. And this is extra firm tofu. I've just cut it in small rectangles like that. And I've used about half a pack that you get, the 14-ounce pack. So this is 7 ounces of extra firm tofu. So I'm adding that. Neil has helped me drain the noodles. They're cooked. I did them for about 8 minutes. So I'll add that as well. And then I will also go ahead and add all of the sauce on top of this. Swapnil, I might need your help to mix this. I might need 2 spoons to mix it. And then you just mix all of it together. And you see, this is pretty much it. Your pad thai is almost ready. This is the quickest thing to make. That's another reason why it's one of my favorite things to make for a weekday dinner. It's super satisfying, really tasty, and extremely simple to make. Yeah. Okay, so once the sauce and everything is completely mixed, I hope you can see it. We will add the last few ingredients, and it's important that these ingredients go towards the end. One is crushed roasted peanuts. So what I've literally done is I've taken the salted roasted peanuts, like the big box that you get in Walmart or Whole Foods. I've taken that and then just coarsely crushed it in a mortar and pestle, or you can even do it in a food processor. If you're using just raw peanuts, just toast them lightly in a toaster oven or your microwave, and then grind them. So I'm adding about a 1/3 cup of peanuts. I've taken half a cup of crushed peanuts. I'm adding a 1/3 right now, and then saving some for garnishing later. And then the last thing I'm adding is some chopped, not too finely, just small pieces of garlic chives. And then just give this a quick mix. And I'm going to turn off the flame. So the pad thai is ready pretty much at this point. Can we take it out?
Yeah. I'll take it.
I'll hold it, you can maybe. So that's, oh my god, it already smells really good. So that's pretty much it. Once you remove it in your serving bowl, I'm just going to top it with some more crushed peanuts. A little bit of sprouts, just so that there's some nice fresh crunch on top. A few garlic chives. And at this point, your pad thai is ready. The next few touches that I add are completely optional. I'm adding some chili powder. If you don't have, or you don't know which chili powder to use, or if you don't have Asian chili powder, one thing that really works well is the Mexican chili lime seasoning that you get. I think it's called Tajín. You can add that, and this is, like I said, completely optional. And then just serve it with a few lime wedges and a little bit of cilantro. So that's it. That's your pad thai. Do you see how quick that was? It literally took 15 minutes. And also there was not a lot of chopping involved. All I had to do was cut half a pack of tofu. The sprouts you don't have to do anything with. And then chop an onion. So it was really simple. the next thing we are gonna make is the Thai iced tea. For that, I've done a little bit of prep, so I'll walk you through that. You typically get like this Thai iced tea mix, which is what they'll normally use in restaurants too, and that is made with Ceylon tea, but they add food coloring to it. I'm a food scientist, and I know that most artificial food coloring is known carcinogenic, and I try to steer away from it completely. So I have used these tea bags. They are the Ceylon Orange Pekoe tea. So any Ceylon tea bags that you can find, or even loose tea is fine. What I've done is I've taken 500 ml of hot water, and I have steeped 4 tea bags into that. So just take 500 ml of hot water, put 4 tea bags in it, steep it for about 5 minutes covered, and then I let it sit in my refrigerator after removing the tea bags, and it's ready for use. This will make at least 4 cups of or glasses of Thai iced tea. And then the other thing I've made is our creamer. So what I've done here is I've mixed about half a cup of condensed milk and half a cup of half and half. You can also add just half a cup of whole milk or full cream, whatever you have available, and whatever you're willing to consume in terms of calorie. Obviously, more the cream, better it tastes. This actually is a secret recipe for making your own flavored creamer. So if you have, let's say, friends coming over for brunch, I know it doesn't typically happen these days, but or you're like celebrating yourself and or want to make a special flavored creamer for yourself, you can mix condensed milk and half or whole milk and add a little bit of flavoring. So to this I've added a touch of vanilla extract. It's not a must, but I just like very little. You shouldn't definitely taste like a powerful vanilla in it, because you want to taste the Ceylon tea coming through as well. But a little bit of vanilla just helps round it off a little bit, and will give you your Americanized Thai iced tea, restaurant Thai iced tea experience. So I have that creamer ready. And this, I've taken a glass with some ice cubes. I'm just gonna add, I think we need more ice. I'm gonna take about 150 milliliters of this steep tea, and then lots of ice cubes, and I'm going to add some of my creamer. So you can leave it as is. I mean, it'll mix eventually, obviously, and that's your Thai iced tea. So the Thai iced tea and the pad Thai are ready. You can find the full detailed written recipes. I think the organizers already shared the ingredients with you. You can also find the detailed recipe on my website. It's called nehabhede.com. And thank you for joining. And I also want to thank Hoboken Public Library for giving me this opportunity. And I will look forward to showing you another recipe next Wednesday. Oh, I wasn't able to see the screen all this long, so let me just quickly check if you have any questions. Cool. If you have any questions, you can also comment it later on the Facebook page, and I will reply to your comments and answer them. Thank you so much. Bye.